Alright. Hello and welcome back to the Nasty Metal Projection channel here at YouTube, and of course I'm here with a list video, and this is of course the top 30 best, at least my favorite rock and metal albums from 1978. And of course I did one for 1977 last year, and I'll definitely link you to that video. So with that, I know Scott Waters has been doing his, but I decided to do my own because I've been working on this list for definitely a few months for now. So I finally got around to at least getting a very well-rounded list. So, not every album in here I do own, and I'll definitely explain why. To not keep everyone waiting, let's definitely go in and start the video, actually. Let's get it rolling. Coming at number 30 is a very obscure title. I don't have this one in my collection, but I listened to it, and I'm also pretty new to these guys. This, of course, is Bastard, I guess is their second album, Tearing Nights, because I had not heard the album prior to this one. But, like I said, this is a very obscure German hard rock band. The album's definitely good. It's definitely well solid. It's definitely at times melodic, but it's still, at least it's still rocking when it does, but not nearly as hard rocking as what you expect, especially from the cover art. But still, it's a good album. Still not a bad album at all. I can't really say anything bad about it other than it's good. So there you have it with that. So coming at number 29 is something I do have. It's definitely another obscure band, and one I'm not sure if many here in the VC know of, but I have talked about this band on my channel. This, of course, is Wrist Rocket, who are who are based out of Fresno, California, and this is their only album that they have released. Wrist Rocket are definitely a melodic hard rock band, or could be looked as more of AOR, because it isn't too different from what a Foreigner were putting out at the time of this. Still, not really a bad album at all. Like I said, it's their only album. It's good. It's good. There really isn't anything bad to really say about it. The only real song on here that really passes up as a hard rock song is Rockin' and Roll It. It's the one that is the most hard rockin' of the entire album. Actually, the only song that really does, even though all the other songs are a little more more melodic, but still, it's a good album. Now, as far as the reason how I got this is, I think I've said already on my channel that my dad actually had, I think, gotten this from one of the band members. I think the band were like handing this stuff out, actually selling it at shows or so. It was like, again, it's a pretty much an independent release, and I guess trying to see if they could make it, but here they didn't, obviously, and I can't really find a whole lot of information on this band. Hell, for the longest time, actually, I couldn't find this thing on YouTube. It's so obscure that I couldn't even find it on YouTube. I couldn't even find it on Discogs. Once in a while, it would show up on eBay. I know that one time there was a signed copy that showed up on eBay. But now, of course, due to me uploading the album onto the internet back in like 2012, of course, since then, it's now made its way to YouTube, and you can definitely find it through there. But yeah, it's a good album. If you have heard this one, you could definitely post your comments down below on there. So yeah, Wrist Rocket coming at number 29. So coming at number 28 is another one I don't have, even though I've got their first three. This, of course, is Journey's Infinity, which is the first album that feature vocalist Steve Perry. Since the past three albums were all sung by keyboard player Greg Raleigh. it's definitely a good album. It's definitely, in some ways, it continues the sound that was very much present on Look Into the Future and Next, but it definitely kind of pushes them more towards what you probably would end up expecting, but at the same time, it's not really there yet. It still is more of a prog-ish affair type of album. Still good though. I still like the album, but I don't think I like it as much as Next, or even Look Into the Future, or even the debut. I just think I spent more time with those than I really did with this one. It's a good album, of course, being produced by goddamn, what's his name? I think. Just bear with me. Yeah, Roy Thomas Baker, who of course produced Queen's albums from the time, and it does have that Queen sound to it, but not nearly as much as that. But still, it's a good album. I still think there are some good tracks on there, but I don't think it's nearly my favorite, because I just really like those earlier albums much more, the first three. But still, good album. I can't say anything bad about it. So, with that, coming at number 17 is Foreigners, Double Vision. Now again, it's pushing it for being hard rock or even metal, but again, like I said, the video is rock and metal, so just want to remind you on that before you even go on and say, oh, these are not all metal and shit. Don't. So, with that, good album. Really can't say anything bad. Also, before I get into that, this of course is the vinyl copy, and I do have the CD copy, which has a kind of the cover's a little different, as you can see. Yeah, the CD remaster has a surprisingly different cover than the vinyl. Though a little similar, but just a little different. But yeah, definitely a good follow-up to their 1977 debut. But I don't think it's actually, you know what, to be quite honest, I actually like the first three Foreigner albums the most. And this one is a good album, though. There really isn't anything bad I can say about it. Of course, Spellbinder probably being one of the best songs off the album, in my opinion, but still good. Still a good follow-up. And definitely a good album. And that probably up there is one of my favorite Foreigner albums. But still, it's a good album. I can't say anything bad about it. So, coming at number 26. Now, this really is pushing it for, hard rock or definitely heavy metal. It's pushing it to that. But the debut from the Cars. Reason why it's in here, it's an album I grew up with. Of course, it's something that the album was actually produced also by Roy Thomas Baker, who of course produced Journey's Infinity and known for Queen. So there's definitely that. It's definitely a different album. It's more on the rock side of their stuff than any of the stuff, at least after this one, like with Shake It Up or Heartbeat City. But still is a good album, actually. I still like some of this stuff, but I heard this so much as a kid that I haven't really listened to it in a long time. But I just, even if I played the sound again, it's going to bring back tons and tons of memories. It's a pure nostalgia trip. That's all. Just a nostalgia trip. Of course, back. Alright, so coming at number 25, and of course I got the CD copy of it as well, is Boston's Don't Look Back. which of course is their follow-up to their 1976, mega hit debut. Of course, this album is definitely looked as more of a kind of a slump to some, but I like this album. I actually do. To me, these albums are all pretty much going hand in hand. This one I think is just as good as their debut, in my opinion. The title track definitely kicks off pretty good. I also dig Party. There really isn't anything bad I can say about this. It's definitely doesn't really feel all that rushed here and there, but it still is a good album. I still actually like this album. So yeah, I can't really say anything bad about it at all. It really isn't. Alright, so coming at number 24, this is actually the only one, actually there's 3 in here actually that I have on cassette, but is Styx, Pieces of 8, an album I grew up with. I definitely grew up with this album, and I hadn't really listened to this album in a long time, but the thing is, I played the crap out of this fucking thing years ago that it's pretty much embedded in my head. Of course, stuff like Great White Hope, Sing for the Day, fucking Lords of the Ring, Blue Collar Man, Queen of Spades, of course the song Renegade. It's all fucking implanted in my head that even just to look at the titles, the songs themselves just fucking pop up in my head. It's of course just the follow-up to their 1977 hit album. Oh god, already I'm losing my mind on The Grand Illusion, that was a good album, but for some reason I've always preferred this album over The Grand Illusion. I think because of the fact is I played this one a lot more times than I did The Grand Illusion. That's why. Again, it's all based around nostalgia factor. It's a good album. It's definitely not like their early stuff, like Man of Miracles or anything where it really had much more of a hard rock edge. Here it's definitely more like Pomp or kind of AOwash type of rock. But it's just still a good album. I can't say anything bad about it. It's just, when it comes to some of the other ones, it's not nearly as much as one that really hits me as much as that. Alright, so coming in at number 23 is, again, I don't have this, but I was checking their stuff out. And again, it's a band I'm new to. To put a list for a forum that I go to, which is Force of Steel. This, of course, is a Japanese hard rock band by the name of Bow Wow. They're one of the more... They definitely kind of came before Loudness in terms of popularity out of, Japan or so. But Bow Wow also looked as one of the first, 70s metal bands. But especially even when it comes to Japan, there definitely are looked as one of the few really early metal bands that come out of the 70s. But still, Guarantee is a good album, but not near. I don't think it's nearly as good as the ones that preceded it. It's at times a little mellow, a little more melodic, but it's not really a bad album. I still enjoyed the album, but I don't think it's nearly as good as Signal Fire or Charged. But those are still good. But it's still a good album, but still I don't think it's nearly as good as those, but it's got some good songs on here. Of course, the guitar playing is just fucking good as well, as usual. But still, good album. Alright, so coming in at number 22 is another album I don't have. And I'm definitely going to say my reasons. This, of course, is Sorcery's Sinister Soldiers. Definitely one of the early metal bands that come out of the 70s. And, of course, this was their debut. And it's definitely a little proggish in some ways. but still is fairly heavy. Not nearly as heavy as what Priest or even what Black Sabbath were doing in the early 70s or so. At least everything from like the debut up to like Volume 4, I guess. But it's still, Sorcery Sinister Soldiers still is a fairly good heavy metal album from 1978. The reason I don't even have the album, as the fact is, some copies can go for who knows how much, and even trying to find a good price copy of the CD or so, who knows. I can probably go on Amazon and look up the fucking thing and probably see how much it's going for, but who knows. Whenever I am in the mood to actually want to really put the money down on it, I will. So yeah, Sorcery Sinister Soldiers, good album, definitely good. And if you want to search for any, good heavy stuff from the 1970s, it's definitely a good album to definitely look into. Alright, so coming at number 21 is another album I don't have in my collection, but I was checking them out due to recommendations on my forum or so on. I had made a thread on 70s metal. This is Ram Jam's Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. And of course, if you know what Ram Jam are, they're best known for the cover of, what's that song? Shit, I forgot what it was off their album prior to this one. But of course, you probably know the guys are anyway. It's a good album. It's probably a lot more hard rockin' than their debut, in my opinion. And at times it almost gets a little heavy, definitely, here and there on the album. It's a good album, though. I definitely liked it. I liked it enough to where I wanted to put it on the list. Just a good album. Nothing really bad to say about it. So, with that said, I can't really say anything more about it, that's all. It's a good album. Coming in at number 20